Thanks for clicking on the webcast. I'm Laura Queso. Here's the latest from WENY HD News and the Star Gazette. Breaking news overnight, a car fails to make a left turn and completely takes out a guardrail. Here's video of the crash. Just after 2 this morning, the driver of this Audi went straight through the guardrail at the intersection of Thorn Street and County Route 64 in Horseheads. Neighbors I spoke with say they heard a loud boom. They went outside to find a piece of the guardrail on the ground and this car on the side of the road. Believe it or not, the driver and 2 passengers walked away without a scratch, but it's a different story for the car. It's totaled and it was towed from the scene. Police are not telling us what caused that crash, but of course, stay with us for the latest on this accident. A drug bust in Irwin leads to the arrest of 3 suspects. Members of the District Attorney's Office Drug Task Force searched 23 Redwood Circle and Badger Creek apartments Thursday afternoon. They found a large quantity of heroin and crack cocaine, along with a large amount of cash. 6 suspects were inside the apartment and taken outside for questioning. 3 were transported to the Sheriff's Office in Bath. Laura Spencer from Irwin and Taekwon Mack and Joshua Petterkin from Rochester were all charged with possession of narcotics.
Like out of nowhere, this big white van came up and a bunch of military-looking people got out and bashed into the door and started yelling, "Get on the ground," threw a couple of flash grenades and stuff. And
I was bound and determined to take down whoever we can to get it out of here. There's a lot of little kids around here, and they don't need that.
People in the complex are continuing their neighborhood watch to keep the community drug-free. And now to an update on that Elmira fire that broke out early Wednesday morning. The 2 victims, a mother and son, were listed in guarding condition at Strong Memorial Hospital on Thursday. The fire broke out just after 2:30 a.m. at 361 West 2nd Street in Elmira. A 12-year-old boy and his 44-year-old mother were sent to intensive care for fire injuries. The 2 victims were rescued from the back porch. That apartment is uninhabitable, and fire officials say it was accidental. And the fate of the Pennsylvania's voter ID law is once again in the hands of a judge. Closing arguments wrapped up Thursday in Commonwealth Court. At issue, does requiring Pennsylvanians to show ID at the polls make it harder to vote or safer? Both sides had 1 hour to make their final arguments to the Commonwealth Court judge. Up first, the plaintiffs, who say forcing voters to show ID at the polls is unconstitutional. They say the law creates an unfair burden on the poor and the elderly. But the state says the law protects the integrity of the voting process.
They are playing fast and loose with the numbers. There are not hundreds of thousands of people who lack acceptable ID. There have been people who've been turned away, and we heard hundreds of people who have been turned away who were not able to get the ID that they needed.
One big piece of information did come out of yesterday's hearing. The Department of State agreed to continue the, quote, soft rollout of the law. So that means in November, you will be asked to show ID, but it will not be required. The judge's final ruling could take weeks. And now here's meteorologist John Hickey with a look at the forecast. John.
Well, and a good-looking forecast it is. You know, we only have about a 30% chance for some pop-up showers and perhaps a few rumbles of thunder today. Tomorrow, just a few showers early in the morning, but the rest of your weekend looks great. We'll see a good amount of sunshine, but temperatures actually cooling off a little bit. We'll only have highs as we look ahead towards your Sunday in the low 70s. We keep that trend going into early next week. Let's look at Future Track for some of your details. We're starting your morning off with sunshine, but we're going to be highlighting an upper level disturbance over northern Michigan this morning. That's going to be sliding through this afternoon as we pause things here for you at 6. Notice there's a batch of showers coming through with some embedded rumbles of thunder. So your afternoon, potentially a little bit wet, but as we get to your evening, we're actually going to clear it out a little bit. So if you were thinking of having dinner outdoors tonight around 7 or 8, actually looks okay. Now overnight, we're going to try and clear out the sky some more, but we'll be under the gun for some more of that valley fog. On the heels of that first disturbance, here comes a cold front giving us some morning showers tomorrow. But by the afternoon, it's nice. It's actually going to be cooling off a little bit. Good deal of sunshine, and that sunshine and the cooling trend actually continues as we look into Sunday. Looking at your 7-day forecast, look at Monday. Highs only in the low 70s there, but plenty of sun. The rain returns sometime by early next week. That's your forecast. Here's Laura.
All right, thanks, John. For the latest news, weather, and sports, be sure to watch WENY HD News at 5:30, 6, and 11. And don't forget to pick up a copy of today's Star Gazette. I'm Laura Queso. Have a great day and a great weekend.